Conan had told them about Makur before they left the village. The girl had said one line and stepped aside. Conan looked at Brack. "Makur the Elder, you know him." Brack shook his head once.
"Know of him. Keeps to the high places. Has since before I could walk. My father never spoke of him directly. Just north. Alone."
Vara pulled her cloak.
I know where he lives.
"That's enough," Conan said. They climbed.
Oh, Cimmeria.
Your blade strikes
Incorrection.
correction and ferret. Your blade strikes in correction.
Between worlds he stands.
The world above the tree line was a different kind of silence. Not the silence of an empty room, not the silence that follows a scream. This was the silence of stone that had been here before men had words for it. A vast, breathing cold that did not care what crossed it or what it crushed on the crossing. The sky above the ridge was the color of iron left in rain. The stars had not yet given way. They burned faint and indifferent, older than memory. Brack went first. He moved through the dark the way Cimmerians move through hard country, not fighting it, not performing it, simply within it. His axe was loose in his hand. His breath rose and dissolved. He found each foothold before he asked it of his weight, and asked nothing of the snow that the snow was not already offering. Behind him, Vara followed the same line. No clan, the same hills. Her blade rode across her back at the angle of a woman who has drawn it often enough to know the difference between practice and necessity. Then Zunara. Zunara of Shem moved through winter with deliberate adaptation, without complaint. Her amber eyes tracked the shifting dark in a way that had nothing to do with sight. Yasmela came forth. She rode. The horse knew the terrain better than she did, and she had made her peace with that. Her back was straight, not out of pride, but out of the discipline of a woman who had commanded a throne room and learned early that how you sit is how you are read. The twin serpents on her wrist were cold this morning, colder than the air, colder than the stone. She had noticed this 3 days ago and said nothing. Conan moved last. He kept to the rear, eyes on their backs, weight set between what moved ahead and whatever chose to follow. The Unmaker rode sheathed at his side, leather and iron fittings. No glow, no whisper, only weight. The ridge crested and fell into a long traverse, a shelf of rock and wind-flattened scrub that moved north and west between two walls of stone. The Cimmerian hills did not announce themselves. They simply continued, always further than men expected, always older than men prepared for. An hour into the traverse, Zunara slowed. She did not stop. She adjusted her pace by 3 steps, fell into line beside Yasmela, and spoke without looking at her.
Something is reading us,
Zunara said quietly. Yasmela's eyes moved to the ridgeline above.
Since when? Before dawn. It is not the dead.
Zunara's gaze tracked left, unhurried.
The dead read the way hunger reads. This watches with intent.
3 strides passed.
Scouts.
Did not answer immediately.
Men who take coin.
She said. Yasmela did not look at Conan. He was behind them. But the twin serpents moved, not visibly, not with any motion a watching eye could name. But against her skin the gold shifted, a deep, muscular adjustment, like a body readying itself before the mind has processed the threat. Yasmela had worn the bracelet since before she could name what it was. She had never felt it do this unprompted. She kept her face still and said nothing. The valley was a geological mistake. A narrow, rib-cracked passage where the Cimmerian stone leaned inward, as if trying to keep a secret. The wind here did not blow. It compressed, carrying the scent of wet pine and the metallic edge of coming weather. The floor of the pass was exposed rock, dusted with frost. There was no shelter on either side for 40 yards. The overhang above was deep enough to hide 6 men lying flat. Brack saw it first. He said nothing. His movement changed. Foot pressure forward, weight lowered, axe in hand tightened. Vara read it in his back and matched it without a word. This was what it meant to have been blooded in the same hills. Conan saw them adjust. He stopped. The line held for half a breath longer before the absence reached them. Zunara. 1 word. She was already looking at him. He read her face. She had been reading the pass for 10 minutes. What she had found there sat behind her eyes, controlled, precise.
12.
She said.
6 above, 6 left. They split us at the narrowing.
A beat.
They've tracked us since the lower ridge. Coin, not clan.
Brack's jaw tightened. Vara's eyes went flat. Conan looked at the pass, the overhang, the 40 yards of open stone. He grinned. Conan looked at Zunara. She held his gaze.
I can cast a veil.
She said.
Long enough for what comes from behind to arrive.
Conan nodded once. Then we move. Zunara spoke 4 words in a language older than the cataclysm, its sounds shaped for force, not meaning. She lifted one hand. The air around them changed. Not invisibility, something more exact. The particular quality of a place where nothing waits. Conan walked into the pass. He drew the Unmaker and drove it point first into the frozen rock at the center. The obsidian tips bit and held. He rested both hands on the pommel, wrists crossed, and waited. He was the size of a problem men avoid. He waited anyway. The trackers of the Black Crag came off the overhang, 6 above. They dropped fast, clean landings, blades already drawn. Men who had done this before. Men who expected motion when steel showed. Conan did not move.
I have faced Cimmerians before, exile.
He lifted the Hyrcanian steel, not quite a salute, an acknowledgement a man gives before he kills.
Your kind die well.
A thin smile settled across the scarred face.
I'll grant you that.
It did not touch his eyes.
When we are done with you.
A slight shift of his stance.
And we will be.
His gaze slid once past Conan, empty air. He gave a low breath through his teeth.
Your axeman and your swordwoman will go the same road. Steel or snow, it makes no difference.
A beat. His eyes returned to Conan.
As for the Shemite and the Korani princess,
He let it hang, long enough to sour the air.
my men have ridden hard.
A faint curl at the edge of his mouth.
They'll take their ease before the work is finished.
Another beat.
No coin spent on them says how that ease is taken.
Conan's gaze dropped to the pommel beneath his hands. Something moved in his face. Not anger, older, colder. "Aye," he said. He did not look back.
Gradus pom, I stepped down. None said, oh, I do not yield. Sanguis memenet, blood remembers. Nox manet, night remains. Oh, Cimmerian. Your blade strikes. Incorrection. To the end. Non-pugnan, fight, set lex but law. Ferrum loquitur steel speaks, voluntas ducit will lead. Oh, Cimmerian. Your blade strikes. Incorrection. To the end. Body falls. Frangitur forma, form breaks. Disparate nomen name fades. Moneyed lex law remains.
He did not look back. The six behind him came on. 10 feet. Then the air changed. Space behind Conan's shoulders ceased to be empty. No ripple, no light, no warning. One moment, absence. The next, presence. Vara resolved first. Her blade was already in motion as her form set. No pause, no search for footing. She had been there the entire time, held in place. The first man met her edge before he understood she existed. He fell. Vara stepped through him. She did not stop. She lunged toward the man to her left. He turned to run. Her long blade swept low, clean. His foot came away from him. He pitched forward, face first, into the stone. Vara was already over him. The blade drove down into his back without breaking stride. She moved on. Brack came from the right. The first mercenary came at him hard, and Brack simply moved the axe. One placement. The man ran into it with everything he had, his own momentum doing the work. his own charge writing the ending. No wasted force. The axe hadn't swung. It had simply been where the man was going. The second attacked from his left. Brack reversed the shaft without looking. The pommel found the temple and the man folded into the snow. 2 remained. They stopped. Yasmela stood before them. Exactly where she had been, back straight, hands open. The twin serpents burning at her wrist, gold pushed past warmth into something active. She had not drawn a weapon. She did not need one. One of the 2, scarred, older, saw the bracelet. He stepped back. The other did not. His mouth twisted. "That one," he said, nodding toward Yasmela. "The gold suits her. My men will—" He did not finish. What followed was not her will. She knew that. The 2 who remained committed moved for her. The serpents moved first, not drawn, not struck. They unfolded, deliberate, certain, as if the moment had already been decided elsewhere. The air at her wrist thickened, then it opened. She felt the difference. In the Black Temple they had been late, by a margin she had not named, by a margin that had no right to exist. They had carried it, not memory, measure.
She stands firm, none move it, she does not break. Sanguis regnet, blood rules, serpents vigilant. The serpent watches. Your sovereign calls. The serpent's answer. Start him. None vox, not voice, said Usum but command. Serpent surge it, the serpent rises, lex impletur, law is fulfilled. Oh, Acheron, your sovereign calls. The serpent's answer.
The words spoken in the pass settled something. Not the threat, the intent. The line crossed in open air, not by her, by what moved through her. This was not protection, this was answer. 2 colossal viper heads formed from nothing that could be named as matter. Pearly white scales, immense, seamless, their surfaces catching no light, yet defining themselves with absolute clarity. Crimson eyes burned within them, not bright, not flaring, fixed, aware. Each chose a man. There was no lunge, no speed to measure. One moment the men stood, the next they were taken. Mouths opened wider than bone should allow. Both men were drawn inward, whole. No struggle, no sound, no interruption of motion. The bodies passed beyond the threshold of those jaws, as if the space behind them had already been prepared to receive them. The heads closed, held, then withdrew, not vanishing, not dissolving, receding, as if the world had decided it no longer required their presence. The air sealed. Nothing remained. No mark in the snow, no disturbance, only absence, exact, complete. Zunara appeared beside her. Her gaze moved once to the space where the men had been, then to the bracelet.
It acted without you.
She said.
Yes. Does this trouble you?
Yasmela considered.
No.
She said.
It has been waiting.
Conan had finished with the front six. He stood with the unmaker in his right hand, the blade held low, silent, waiting for a purpose not yet given. His gaze moved. The men in the snow, Yasmela, the bracelet.
By Crom. Different.
Brack said. Aye. Brack's eyes stayed on Yasmela.
Is she?
She is what she appears to be, Conan said. That has been the problem. Vara wiped her blade clean in the snow and rose. Her gaze fixed on the bracelet, the same look Conan had seen once before, years back, when she stood before an old shield wall carving and understood it was not story. She sheathed her blade.
We move,
she said.
If they sent 12, they can send more.
Aye. Conan turned north. The others fell in behind him. Nothing remained in the pass. No bodies, no witnesses, no account. What had been sent did not return. The pass closed. The Serpents of Valusia devoured too, and drank the essence of all that fell this day, even those by the hand of the Cimmerians. The young blood of Cimmeria finds purpose. In Conan's burden, truth takes form. Makur waits in the high places. What is held will be spoken. Our champions move, and so does everything else.
Oh, Cimmeria.